The cost of judgment debts, arbitration awards and negotiated settlements to the economy is huge. For all of these payments, the state loses much needed revenue.
Economic cost would be the money that are supposed to be earmarked for the roads and earmarked for other things that the state needs to be benefited, rather go into debt payments that will not get any benefit from it. That is the economic cost. Very, very enormous.
But the phenomenon has become all too common in Ghana, compelling then-President John Mahama in October 2012 to appoint a sole commissioner, Justice of the Appeals Court, Justice Yapo, to inquire into some of these payments since 1992. The Commission of Inquiry was to, among others, ascertain the causes of inordinate payments from public funds and financial losses arising from arbitration awards and negotiated settlements, to make recommendations to government for ensuring that as far as practicable, the instances where public funds are utilized to make payments in satisfaction of judgment debts and public debts arising from akin processes are limited or avoided. And government does not incur undue financial losses when it does business with private persons or institutions.
Of all the evidence that came here about how CP has raped the nation, they didn't have anything to report.
For more than a year, the commissioner heard testimonies from public officials and MMDA staff. Among them was MP for Adansia Sokwa K.T. Hammond, who was former Deputy Energy Minister under whose watch a drill ship belonging to the Ghana National Petroleum Corporation (GNPC) was sold.
We come to this point about the 3.5 million.
Yes.
We have indicated that this money check ended with Chris Podo,
yes,
and then acting commissioner. Because my name has been dragged in the mud. Kanapa, Katie Harvard, my family, they don't even believe me. My mother is dying because of this. Well, you stolen government's money, 3.5. Oh. What do I do government 3.5 for?
Oh.
My lord,
then you should have told your mother you are a politician.
My lord, they can't take this.
A government-wide paper directed the Economic and Organized Crime Office, EOCO, to investigate K.T. Hammond on the disbursement of some $900,000 from the sale of a drill ship.
I went through express to get this check. Now, my lord, the information is that there are people in this country who have the information about where the 3.5 went to. Now, you worship your God and you pray. God will not let you down. I went to Parliament the other day. When I got in there, I had a document in my pigeonhole. Hand it over to His Lordship. My lord, this document has every document, every indication, who wrote a letter, who deposited the account where, who did what, the drawings on this account, the whatever.
The Asokwa MP subsequently sued government for directing EOCO to probe his involvement in the saga. Another famous case which resulted in some judgment debts involves the Margins Group, which supplied 1 million calendars to the Ghana at 50 Secretariat in 2007 at 2.7 million cedis. The Commission report revealed in part delays in payment amid other contestations resulted in the state coughing up 6.2 million cedis as payment. And now the widely publicized one, the Woyome Gate. The businessman in 2010 was paid some 51 million cedis after he claimed that he helped Ghana raise funds to construct stadia for purposes of hosting the 2008 Africa Cup of Nations. But the Supreme Court in 2014 ordered him to pay back the amount after former Attorney General Martin Amidu challenged the legality of a judgment that paid the businessman Waterville and Isofoton. The Apex Court unanimously granted the Attorney General clearance to execute its judgment, ordering Mr. Woyome to refund the money to the state. The Justice Appellate Commission submitted a report to government on the findings. Government accepted the following recommendations with modifications. Parliament should pass a political campaign funding bill to prevent the situation in which the funding of political activities and election campaigns have become a major source of corruption in public office. A specialized alternative dispute resolution (ADR) center should be established within the Attorney General's department to assist the management of national debts. Government did not wholly accept the recommendation and was of the view a more workable alternative is to establish a team of attorneys and non-attorneys at the AGs properly trained in dispute resolution. The frequent changes in the nomenclature of ministerial portfolios anytime government changes hands must also cease, as these carry with them unreasonable financial burdens as a result of movement of departments and units and even staff. Government did not accept the following recommendations. A legal instrument should be put in place to ensure the procurement law is religiously followed in the award of contracts. Government was of the opinion that there are enough sanctions in the existing Public Procurement Act 2003, Act 663. A legal regime should be developed to ensure continuity of contracts that transcend outgoing and incoming governments. The role of the audit service should be broadened to minimize financial malfeasance in the execution and abrogation of contracts. A legal instrument should be put in place to oblige all MMDAs and RCC attorneys to respond to queries and other requests for information from the Attorney General's office within strict timelines. Government further did not accept the recommendations of the Commission that there should be established a permanent institution to play oversight role in the handling of judgment debt cases. It will investigate all default judgments, consent judgments, and judgments on admission entered against state institutions. Government was of the view that there are existing institutions of states that are responsible for different aspects of these matters. These institutions, government thought, should be empowered to do their work efficiently. The Commission recommended the separation of the roles of Minister of Justice and Attorney General to protect the Prosecutor's Office from undue political interference. The Commission recommended some sanctions to include holding heads of departments and other government officials accountable for their actions and inactions that lead to payment of judgment debts. Deadlines for responding to administrative requests for advice and clearance should be accompanied by sanctions for failure to respond on time, especially where it leads to financial loss to the states. In situations where the actions and or inactions of public officials lead to unwarranted debts to the states, the officials must be made to refund the debts paid to the states, failing which the assets of the main offenders, collaborators, accomplices and beneficiaries should be confiscated to the state to recover the losses to the state. Government also noted the existence of the Public Property Protection Decree under which such persons may be prosecuted. In 2018, the under-fire businessman Alfred Woyome began making payments to the state, 4.6 million at the time. Even though he denies any wrongdoing, Alfred Woyome says he is prepared to pay back the monies to the state.
I have shown willingness to pay. I proposed in it that I want to pay this quarterly. Then I said, okay, let me go to the Supreme Court. And I filed the payment plan before the Supreme Court. That this is how I want to pay it. Because I've not worked, government has closed all my businesses illegally against a court order. Bank of Ghana had blacklisted me. Godfrey Odami and the AG went to the Supreme Court and said, we are not agreeing on he paying by any installment. The Supreme Court hand was tied.
He challenges the state to go after all those who benefited from the monies paid his businesses in judgment debts.
The government of Ghana is in a better position to tell you how much money has gone to who and who. They have Yoko. Mm-hmm. They took all the accounts. They know and have all this evidence. They know where this went to, where this went to. Why are they coming to come and tell people, hey, you should bring the money? They should come out and tell the people.
6 years since government issued the white paper on the Commission's report, what has changed? Have lessons been learned? Sadly not. Edem Senanu of a citizens' movement against corruption is disappointed not much has been done to prevent recurrent judgment debts.
Ministers who hold portfolios should be made to sign something that says that, look, if you cancel any contracts without ensuring that there are clear, justifiable reasons, we will hold you accountable for every loss, every single person lost, so that you pay back to the country's coffers. That would have been something that would make it's a very high risk situation for people to think that we can just abrogate contracts.
Senior lecturer at the University of Ghana Business School, Dr. Lord Mensah, agrees.
It tells you that those responsible are not paying for their irresponsibility. So effectively, I'm looking for somewhere in these recommendations that will say a punitive measure of about 10 years and above if you cause the state these levels of amount, on which maybe your assets will be frozen, or even when you come out from the prison, you will not enjoy any state facility and all those. I think it will scare people.
The state says it is pursuing some of the cases, specifically the Woyome matter, to ensure the funds are recovered.
As was indicated in the graphic of 2nd December, there will be auction sales of the asset Riomi on 20th December, 28th December, as well as 31st December. And the state actually continues to pursue a search for further assets owned by the man in order to ensure that every cedi paid to the gentleman in question is realized.
But Alfred Woyome alleges what he calls some inside trading in the auction and sale of his assets.
I have ensured that what they should do according to law. And in it, we now saw that there was inside trading. People among them want the properties for themselves.
Really?
That is the case I've taken to the Human Rights Court under Article 33.
Ghana is set to pay even more for wrongful termination of contracts in 2021, with $134 million judgment debt over cancellation of a GCGP power deal and a reported $55 million amount over government's botched Accra traffic lights contract. There are fears there could be even more as state officials continue to take adverse decisions. The experts have some suggestions.
In this context, I think that the Justice Apao report should have fed into some policy reform, which would have compelled duty bearers and responsible parties in government to take actions differently from how we have done them in the past. And I think that's a gap I see. That if Parliament had come up with some new legislation that says that law for causing financial loss to the state includes ministers of state who so and so. So maybe amend the existing law or come up with a new law. That makes the stakes very high, makes it punitive, makes the sanctions clear enough, said that nobody would then rush into saying we are abrogating contracts. And we need to have a system where whenever we have white papers, any arm of government coming up with key recommendations that the state should consider, there should be a system in place to make sure that these move into policy reform.
Until then, talk about addressing the matter would remain like flogging a dead horse.